Hello, it is I, Brandon, the Starseed. It is sunny, and it is October, so yay. I don't really have a topic for the video today. I kind of felt like one would just organically happen, so that's what we're attempting to do. It's really pretty today. I have the day off. It's like a nice day, and that's cool. So I think if we're gonna be like organic, then I have to kind of start with like what I've been realizing lately, or where I'm kind of at, like with a pattern that I've been picking up and whatever. I'm having kind of like a realization about like myself and understanding how I interact well with people, and understanding why I interact with people, like what I gain from interaction. I think everybody's different. I think in the end, I think the bigger realization that I've been having lately is that like everybody's an individual, everybody's unique. That like what really works for one person, for like a solution to something, it might not necessarily work for somebody else, and that like because of that, there's really no way that anybody can ever actually judge anybody else. Like even crazy things that you would think, like if somebody told you that, something, let's say they had a crazy weekend and they did something crazy, something that you would consider crazy, which honestly, depending on, who you are, that could be very different. But my point being, like, assuming it's something that you consider crazy, that you would never do, and somebody's telling you that they just did this over the weekend, like, it's really hard to judge. If that's like a bad thing, like, oh, I can't believe you did blah blah blah. Who's to say that not doing that is the crazy thing? Like, like in the end, I guess it's all subjective. For me to do certain things would be crazy. For other people to not do those things would be crazy. For me to not do what I do would be crazy. So I don't know. I think maybe the be true to oneself concept is the core of what I'm getting at here. That if you learn to be true to yourself, even if your actions seem crazy, and even if your logic behind the actions seem crazy, that if you're being true to who you are, and if you figured that out, that nobody has any room to judge. And even if they do judge, haters are going to hate. Even if people are going to give you a hard time, if the reason you're doing something, if the intention behind something is that you're being true to yourself and you're honoring, that aspect of who you are, then it doesn't really matter what people say, as long as you're not harming other people. Like, once it starts to get to the level where people harm people, then it's a whole nother category, and I don't want to go into that. But I think that as long as somebody isn't harming another person, whatever crazy they've got to deal with, they've got to go through in order to cope with their life, let them. I sit and play video games and watch, TV shows and, like, obsessively organize things. We all have our own, like, weird quirks, I guess. So yeah, be true to oneself. Follow through with that, mainly for intentions. If you do find that you're doing something and you feel like your intentions maybe are not to do with being true to yourself, but maybe the intentions have more to do with something else, greed, jealousy, insecurity, these are things that, like, if you identify them, you can sort those things out. Because maybe not all your actions, or maybe, like, this is coming from me, maybe not everything that I'm doing is being true to myself. Maybe some of the things that I'm doing are actually coming from a place of me being insecure. Or maybe some of the things that I'm doing are coming from me feeling guilty about something, My point is that the only person that's going to know the intentions of why you're doing things is you. And the only way you're going to know those things is if you ask. And you're not always going to be honest with yourself, honestly. I'm not always honest with myself. It takes patience and persistence in order to get to the point where you can be honest with yourself about a lot of things. Also, forgiveness. Because I think that everybody, maybe not everybody, most people I think are harder on themselves than other people are on them, or than they are on other people. Maybe not all people, but I am harder on myself than most people are on me. Yeah, and I think that that's normal, you know? It's really pretty out here. We're gonna do a little panorama so you guys can see the prettiness of all of this. There, I'll just get myself out of the video, because that's, you know, there we go. Ooh, clouds. Ooh, we'll go over to this side. Ooh. Cool. Okay. You know what? We're gonna stay on this side. The sun was really starting to hurt my eyes. We're gonna stay over here now. There we go. That's better. But now my soda's all the way over there. Oh God. Too far. Too far. Oh, the tragedy. I'm really like low energy today, so that's kind of why I'm not really on like a super high, like manic, like, hey, let's go. I'm kind of tired. I'm just kind of chill. I've been having a lot of dreams lately. I think maybe I'll talk about that. Dreams. Write them down. Start writing them down. It really helps. Like, I only write down about 50% of the dreams that I've been having lately. And even the ones that I've been writing down, I won't say write them down. I've been typing them on my phone, and I only type like parts of them, like key phrases or key like scenes, you know, that I would hope would jog my memory. They don't. If I just wrote the whole thing down right away when I first wake up, it'd probably be better. But I've been breaking away from that pattern or that habit, mainly because I'm lazy. Yeah, we're gonna move over back to the other side because I'm thirsty. I need my soda. We go back. The sun. Oh, the sun. Jesus Christ. Whew. All right. Write down your dreams. The ones that I do write down, and when I go back and I reread them later in the future, I learn so much, especially if it's a dream that at the time it had a lot of emotion or a lot of meaning in it, but I didn't understand why. And then like a year later, I go back and I read it, and it's like, oh, whoa, look, I like totally predicted that this was going to happen, or like the foreshadowing was happening about this future event. Like, only when you look back on your dreams can they sometimes make sense. But if you don't write them down, it's hard to remember those little tiny details that you had, you know? But if you write them down and then you go and you reread them, that's step 2. If you're writing your dreams, why are you not going back and spending at least like some time rereading them, you know? Like, pick a random page of your dream journal from a year ago and read that dream, like, you know, why not? Why not read some of your dreams before you go to bed and maybe seed your imagination so that you can maybe continue with some of those dreams? I prefer doing this with positive dreams. Don't read your nightmare right before you go to bed. That's probably not a bad idea, I think. Unless not, maybe if you read your nightmare and then you go to sleep, you won't experience it. Maybe. No, I have a feeling you'd experience it. I'm pretty sure that you would still experience it. Don't read nightmares, but if you have positive, uplifting dreams, read those maybe, and try to make sense of them. But don't try to like find linear patterns or logic or order. Just look for the little things, the emotion, the how you felt about a person in a dream, and then how do you feel about either that person or other people in reality, and how does that like connect, you know? Yeah. So we've talked about being true to oneself. We've talked about dreams. That's all I got. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a lot today. I've been really busy with work. Like, work has been busy. And so it's like been encompassing a larger amount of my brain every week to like focus on work, and I haven't had as much like free energy in my mind to devote to thinking of this stuff. I've still been doing meditation. I've still been communicating with my higher self and with some of my what I call my entourage, which is, you know, beings that I communicate with. I'm still getting a lot of interesting information. I myself have been having an abundance of off-planet dreams in which I'm either on a ship or I'm on a different planet. The one tell that keeps happening in a lot of my dreams is the gravity. I don't know how to explain this, but I always know when I'm off planet in a dream because the gravity isn't the same. Like, the first thing I can tell when I'm in a dream that's either a memory from off planet or it's just a really good dream, like really elaborate or detail oriented, is that the gravity is off. Usually, in my feeling, it usually feels like the gravity is a little bit less. So it's like most of these dreams that where I'm off planet or when I'm on a ship even, it feels like the gravity is a little bit less, and I just feel a little bit of that extra, like, whoa, you know, like every step I take, I feel a little bit more like as if you just put on a brand new pair of really amazing shoes, right? And every step you take, you kind of have that like floaty feeling where you're like, wow, these are like, this is good. That's that feeling in my dream, but it's more than that. It's like blinking my eyes feels different. You can feel the gravity, the impact of taking a drink of like soda, right? How much of this is gravity? More than you think. So when gravity is different on any planet or a ship or whatever, even a minute difference, like, that's noticeable. And it's weird because I think that's one of the random like starseed facts that anybody who's had dreams where they've been off planet or they've been on a ship, most of them, they will notice that. They might not talk about it, they might not like consciously notice it, but if I bring it up and they go back and they remember that connection of like, yeah, the gravity, there's something about that. This happens in abductions as well. A lot of times the gravity on the ships that go around this planet or the interdimensional craft, it's slightly distorted gravity. It's like as close to a certain number as possible, but it's not consistently that number. Whereas, and you know, even on the planet, even just like standing in certain places, the gravitational feeling can be slightly different, almost imperceptible, but perceptible. You know, if you stand in like, you know, near the pyramids, there's differences on some of these ley lines that has to do with the gravitation. It has to do with the electromagnetic frequency. It has to do with just the general vibrational pattern of the planet itself. You know, if you think of the planet like a bell that's been rung, and it's just constantly oscillating like a pattern, then yeah, all of that matters. But yeah, if you ever have off-planet dreams or dreams where you're like in a ship or you're in space or it just doesn't feel normal, pay attention to the gravity, you know? See if you notice that. Just a random thought. All right, that's all I got. We talked about random things. I had fun. You had fun. This was good. It's beautiful out here today. Sadly, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm going to get food, and I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to play some video games and watch some TV or some kind of show or something, and maybe some video game streaming. I'm probably not going to do much outdoors. Maybe I'll go on a walk later. I don't know. Whatever. Enjoy your days, people. Thank you so much for watching, and I will do another one of these probably around Halloween, because I really like Halloween. All right, bye.